Hi, I'm Jody Martin. I'm Director of Field Early Childhood. I've been here 2 years. This is my second year.
My name is Connie Bryant. I was the director here at Field from 2007 to 2014. Jody, can you give us a brief history of the facility?
Sure. It was built in 1941. I actually went to elementary school here back in the 60s. Back then it was I believe it was a K-4 building. Then my daughter went to kindergarten here in 1991. And back then it was strictly a kindergarten classroom, and then later it became preschool and kindergarten. And we are now strictly just preschool only. We have 3 and 4-year-olds. They turn 5 while they're here.
You know, the first year I was here, I brought my dad around to see, and my mom and dad, because I was so excited about being here, and my dad actually went to elementary school here.
Really?
And he just turned 85 this year. So.
Wow.
Field has been around for a long time.
Yes.
The projects that are being proposed with the ballot initiative focuses on storm shelter locations. At the current time, there are no FEMA shelters here.
Correct.
Can you give us a little bit, maybe a tour of where the kids are housed during a tornado warning?
Sure. Our building is actually L-shaped, so we have this hallway, and then we have a hallway that goes this way. So the kids come this direction, and we go right down here.
It's a little musty smelling.
Yeah.
We started using this basement after the tornado jumped us, when it took out pump and pantry and then jumped and hit over on College Street.
We keep water down here just in case. Behind you is the storage room for our custodian, so we have some things that we store in there. It does get wet once in a great while. We'll have some puddles, but not bad. Then we also have this area that we can use, but there is a crawl space, has a little window, and it's used for storage, so we don't come back here just because it wouldn't be safe with all the stuff. And then there's an outside door. Just let you follow Connie.
One of the problems with using the basement could be the possibility of this outside door being blocked, so that then it would not be a possible way for the children and staff to get out.
I think one of our biggest worries, other than it collapsing by some chance, is having to take students down the stairs that could possibly be in a wheelchair, or even someone who's just had a broken leg, or we just have some little tiny ones that just can't really maneuver down the stairs. So if that happens, we literally have to pick the students up and carry them down. And when you're 3 and 4-year-old, this is a little bit scary. We have usually some criers when they come down, but we would have about 80 kids in this area. In the morning, we have more like 95. So anywhere between like 85 and 100 students we put in this one room right here.
And then you have staff.
And plus the staff, we have
on top of that.
25 staff, I believe, including me. So we have big people down here too.
It gets a little crowded. It
full,
fills the whole
yeah.
area. In fact, if I remember correctly, sometimes there are people standing like in front of the stairway, which is not necessarily a great
Right.
place to
We
stand.
have people there, and we do stand. I'm sure if we had to, we could have the kids sit. We don't during a drill just because it's dirty, but I don't know, it'd be really difficult, I think, to have 90 people with 20-some adults sitting in here if we were here any length of time. We were down here, I can't remember if it was last year or this year, for probably close to an hour. So we sang. did some little songs and just to keep the kids busy.
It was scary as an adult to come down these steps without anything to hold on to. So we had these installed so that our children could hold on to them as they came down the steps. These are where the old boiler used to sit. And so they're raised up a little bit. That's kind of another obstacle, because when you're trying to get everybody in here, that's why we painted them green.
And actually, one day we came down 3 times, like in a row. They kept going off, we'd go back up, and then they'd go back off. So I'm not sure we could all sit down here.
Okay, the proposed plans that have been discussed have the possibility of 2 smaller shelters, one on the west end and one on the north.
Correct.
At the end of each hallway. The other plan is to have just one larger shelter where everyone would be housed. How do you?
My preference would be to have one shelter, just because I wouldn't feel like, if I didn't have the kids with me and feel like I was safe with them. So I would prefer one, but 2 will work too. And I'll kind of show you where they possibly might be.
Generally, this hallway is the one that gets those children that are non-mobile.
Right. And this hallway is, all the students in this area go this way out to the playground. Right here against, in this area against this wall is where, I believe if we just have one shelter, this is where it will be. If we would have 2, there would be a smaller one here, and then one on the exit right over there on the west side of the building.
Finally, could you discuss with the patrons how the storm shelters would positively impact students at Field Early Childhood Center?
Well, our number one concern is just for the safety of the students and the staff. So we know that the basement isn't the best place to be. So these shelters are extremely important to the safety of our kids.
As a grandparent that I have 2 grandchildren in the district now. They are both at buildings that have FEMA shelters.
Yes.
And I can tell you as a grandparent, that is, makes me feel so good to know when the sirens are going off, I don't have to worry about where my grandchildren are, or my daughter or son-in-law, who both work for the district. So that is, it just takes away some of that fear for them. And I think storm shelters at all of our buildings would help do that for all parents and grandparents in the district. We just don't want to have that fear that our children, our babies are in danger.
Right.
So,
anytime there's a possibility, a warning, a watch, we have parents call that say, where are my kids going to be? Or they come and pick them up early. Or come when they shouldn't come once in a while.
Which may not necessarily be the best option.
We've actually had parents go down there with us because they come to pick up their kid and then just decide, you know, maybe it's better that we stay here. So I believe that was last year. We had a couple of parents down there with their kids because they felt safer.